why the restaurant business after all of the things that you've done? Why the
Well, I
restaurant
needed
business?
to do something. I'd been laid off by Time Warner. I think they made a big mistake. But most people that have been laid off. The restaurant business is the toughest business in the world because you have to work, 24/7. It's very tough, and I knew that. But television was relatively easy, and I wanted to show also that I could be successful in a business that was really tough.
I think all of us as restaurateurs have to be aware of what an impact we make on our world, on our cities, on our pressure on our systems and everything else. I mean, there's 1 million restaurants in the United States. It's a huge employer of people. We use 5 times the amount of water of any other retail business.
Is there something that you want to come out of the legislature, or whether it's at the state level? Then certainly there's always the question of government and business.
Right. I mean, I think it's a double-edged sword. I'm against mandates, and I don't think government is a whole lot of solutions. I think consciousness and awareness and reading and understanding what can be done is probably the most important.
So is this something that you just, on a daily basis, this is something that you obviously take very personally?
Yeah.
And from way back.
The whole thing.
Long before, though, everybody else was into being green.
Before the internet, before Al Gore invented the internet.
Before he invented the internet. Well, this is going to be a tough crowd today, I can tell. Just up on the stage, forget you guys. What was your inspiration, though? Because you were really into this long before it became
Well, I was an
fashionable.
environmentalist before I even heard of global warming. For many, many years. I've been an environmentalist since I was a little boy.
So this is all about getting a chain of events started. We start by creating new products that then are made available, and at the beginning you pay a little more. We paid a little more for, let's say, recycled paper, but it's becoming more and more practical.
Being wasteful is really a thing of the past because there's just too many people and too much junk around to be wasteful.
Well, I agree with you. By the way, I want to get some credit here, Ted. My notes are on recycled paper.
That's great.
So all paper from my office, and I wrote my notes on things like this. So I'm trying to get a little credit from you.
5 years ago, 6 years ago, when we started this, I have to be honest, nobody really cared. I mean, we went out and we were doing all of this. We were doing this from a foundation at TEDS, and nobody really cared. As a matter of fact, they said, "Oh, I hate these paper straws. Get rid of them." And we said, well, we're just not going to do that because our core value is we don't have stir sticks. I get a lot of grief up here in New York. You get that, if you ever have adult beverage, you get that little plastic stir stick and you take it and throw it out right away and it clogs the drains and then it goes in the landfill and our kids 4 generations from now will still be able to play with it.
I use my finger to stir my Stop hunger right now. Eat at a restaurant near you. That's right. Good marketing.
That's
and
really
so, and when you do the right thing environmentally, you feel good about that too.
It seems to be such a daunting subject, so huge. How can we stop the Arctic from melting, and how can we keep the sea level from rising?
If I could do CNN, anybody could do anything. A bunch of restaurant guys can save the world.
Right.
And we can, as an industry, lead the way. Our big companies, the big franchisors, the big restaurant companies can be leaders, and the small people can join in too. So everybody wins by this movement and by making it real.
Why did you get in the restaurant business?
Well, that's a good question.
After all that.
That's a good question. First of all,
Why the hell did you get in the restaurant?
I really love it. First of all, I like dealing with customers. Listen, I knew it was tough. I knew it was going to be tough. And but I was, my other businesses touched on the food business. For instance, when I bought the Braves, we got the concessions. All right, let me tell you. If you can charge $5 for a beer and you're the only place in town, in the stadium with 50,000 people are in there, and the only place they can get a hamburger and a beer is from the concession stands. That is good business. That's a good.
George, how do you follow that up?
Well, I live like this. When we set out to build Ted's Montana Grill, we said we were going to be environmentally sensitive in every way we could.
So we were going to use recycled paper. We were going to use no styrofoam, no plastic. We were going to find all recyclable materials. We're going to use all glass bottles. So like I'm known over at Coca-Cola as a pain in the glass, because I keep going over there saying, I can't believe y'all are going to get rid of glass bottles. And they were, and they've turned around. So I think it's conversation. I think it's follow up and follow through. And I think it's getting people to buy into it by actually believing in it, not just making a quick step. As last but not least, my only worry is that, right now it's kind of the buzzword. It's the cool thing to be. And I think we have some people out there that are just trying to promote themselves as green that aren't really taking serious steps. And I think it has to be part of your culture, and you have to do it every day. And then small things will turn into big things, and those big things will make a difference.